There we go.
Let's go. Stream is back up. Everyone is in the correct teams and we are ready to race for NRL PlayStation Tier 2. Welcome back to the stream. Those of you who joined us in qualifying, and welcome to anyone who might just be joining us for the race today. I hope you'll all enjoy it, as everyone has opted for the soft compound tyres apart from Dirk, and obviously we saw qualify on the mediums. So everyone thinks that the soft done on the soft compound tyres are the better strategy, as welcome to the stream, Dizzy Mason. Is there's a bit of jostling going on at the back for position, but what can the two Mercedes do from P6 and 7? Haven't talked about them much. Obviously Milky Streamer making his debut today, replacing Crumpton, who got moved up to Tier 1 due to his abnormal pace. But we'll have to wait and see, as Harry and Danilo have made contact, which has disqualified them both from the formation lap. So unfortunate start to proceedings for both, who will start on cold tyres.
So, real quick, what's your predictions for the race?
I can definitely see one of the two Alfa Romeos winning it, probably Jetsy. He'll be on a comeback.
Jetsy is definitely, Jetsy is the highest candidate to win it, definitely.
Yeah, he has a lot of pace. Hopefully he can convert that into a win. We've seen him this season multiple times having the pace in qualifying but not having the race pace, but hopefully today can be different for the Dutch driver who starts from pole yet again.
This amazing is the last cars are heading out on the grid. They're getting ready for the start of the NRL USGP.
As all the cars line up to the grid, AJUK gonna be the last
any moment now.
Join the grid.
Let's go up.
All drivers to ready up. And was five. It's 5 red lights. Oh, and away we go. A bit of I don't know what happened there on my screen, but the start was a bit delayed.
Jetsy gets a great start.
Kieran's gonna look to inside but can't make it work. The Snyder will look to outside of him.
And Milky Streamer goes
both
wide.
Mercedes running a bit wide. The Jabil's up to P4. He's gone past Prince Colonte. AJUK is also trying to get past Milky Streamer down at the back, but so far a clean start at the moment. Looks like there's been no wings lost at the moment, but Jetsy, Kieran and Dan Slider all maintain position off lap 1. So
one in the cheeks, all over the back of Envy here.
Can he look for
movers? Spin, Harry and it's Blaster and Harry. No, it's
around
it's
at
Harry.
The back. Maybe some contact for the two drivers.
That's his spins again.
His Blaster's lost it into the wall.
He spun again.
But hopefully he can get his race back.
Might have been tire temperature. Yeah, it's clearly
Here comes Dirk down the inside of Prems. Can he make the move up into P10?
Anyway, back to the front. It's Jetsy up in P1. The top 3 isn't changed.
Yeah, no change at the top, but at the moment it looks like Jetsy has the pace.
As Dirk has fallen from P9 to P11 on the mediums, that's a horrible start for the Ferrari driver.
Milky Streamer runs
as he wanted to get a good start on his alternate strategy.
It's okay though, as he can still make this work as long as he sticks within the DRS. Everyone at the moment, apart from Milky Streamer, would be in a DRS train. So looks like already on lap 2 we are starting to fall into 2 separate packs.
Harry comes to the pits.
Yeah, Harry's into the pits.
Well
he got damage from his contact with Blaster.
As Danilo gets the first penalty of the day.
3 seconds
and
already. Maybe the AlphaTauri has
MV
some dummy.
gets a penalty as well.
Yeah, unfortunate for the McLaren driver, that's not what he would have wanted. Looking at how tight this race is already, everyone who will seem to be in a DRS train, you do not want a 3-second time penalty. Is Milky Streamer just doesn't have the pace to stick with the lead cars at the moment. He's going to be under pressure from Prems down towards the hairpin at the end of the straight. Can Prems make the move? Milky Streamer moves back to the right a bit, but Prems is going to keep it clean as his teammate is now also having a look at Prince Colante, but can't get the move done, but he's going to send it to the inside. Can he get it done as Prince runs wide and onto the curb? MW15 is up. Prems is
going to send down it. Oh, that's...
Oh,
and
Prems
it's going to be 3 wide.
MW15 3 wide through the right bend, but Money the Cheeks has taken nice 2 positions around the outside, and now HRUK is getting involved down the inside of MW15 and HRUK into the final corner. Can he make the move stick? Prince runs a bit wide onto the curb, but Prince keeps it and moves over to the left a bit, and it looks like it's going to be HRUK going for it again down towards turn 1. MW15 is going to stick his nose in there, but luckily he backs out before there's any damage. HRUK makes a move up into P6, but Prince is going to look back at him, but it looks like they're all going to stay in single files. MW15 gets very close to the rear of the AlphaTauri through the start of sector 1, but the AlphaTauri's missed his apex, and MW15 seen an opportunity down the inside. Great move from the British McLaren driver, who now puts himself into P7, but all this battling has given Manya the Cheats a gap of 2 seconds already.
Yeah. Oh, and it's going to be dive bomb.
Oh, sorry, HRUK leaves position a bit off track.
Gets a position. But MV's going to have the DRS.
He has no DRS though. Here comes Prince. Here comes Prince down the inside of both. MW15 is going to try and move out of the way. He got boxed in there and almost took out Prince, but Prince makes the double move on both of them. HRUK is going to get the switchback on both. Can he now attack Prince again? Prince goes deep like he did a few laps ago, and HRUK is off and into the wall. HRUK is out of the race. Will that be a safety car? Doesn't look like it, but that is really unfortunate, as Dizzy Mason now goes for the move on Danilo and pushes him a bit off track as both drivers ran off. But looks like Danilo's going to go for it around the outside, but can't make the move
back
work.
to the top 3 fight though. It's a DRS train between Jetsy and Kieran and Dan. Well, Javiel 2 seconds
Dizzy Mason
behind.
nearly pushes Danilo into the pit lane, and they're both
as MV gets past Prince again.
Yeah,
as Kieran gets the 2 second time penalty
already, but here comes Prince down the inside of MW15, but MW15 fends him off through the first sector, but Prince will have the DRS down the straight.
Kieran is with a 3 second time penalty. That's going to be huge for the top
that's
3
rather
race.
Unfortunate, but at least he's been able to keep within the DRS of Jetsy.
MV nearly loses it there.
As Prince has had a terrible first sector. He's fallen off 9/10 from where we saw him only a few corners ago.
Milky Streamer is going to be all over the back of him.
Yeah, but Milky Streamer could be under attack from
MV has no ERS. Whilst Prince is saving LS.
His Dirk now is all over the back of this train on the medium tyre, so it's a good start. This is good for him at the moment. He's just able to stick at the back of this train, save ERS and tyres, and then use that later when everyone else is boxed for their mediums or when everyone's softs are dying. But at the moment, this battle for P6 is heating up a lot, and we've already seen someone in the barriers as a result, as Dizzy Mason gets
One
back
thing to mention
Nina.
real quick, Money the Cheeks is currently slowly catching Jabil of P4.
Yeah,
it's an amazing race so far.
Yeah, great race so far. Hopefully Money the Cheats could catch up to the Mercedes and battle him for P4, but Kieran will be trying to battle.
As Premus gets past Milky Streamer up in turn 1.
Down towards turn 1. Nice move from the McLaren driver, who now moves himself up into top 8.
Dirk and P10 is currently watching all of this and fouled.
Yes, Milky Streamer's had a bit of a mistake in the first sector. and this might give Dirk the run onto the straight. But unfortunately for Prems, the bad news is he's lost the DRS on his teammate and Prince Colonte ahead. But AJUK leads the session, unfortunately for the Alpine driver.
Oh,
Who
that's Dirk is gonna go for
out.
Moo on Lucas
Oh,
Rima.
Danilo's out of the session. It's a
And it's a
full
virtual
safety car. No, sorry, yeah, full safety car there has just been
Oh
deployed.
yeah.
And that is rather unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver who now...
As Kieran's leading! Kieran's leading!
Kieran's overtaken Jetsy. How...
When did that happen?
That he must have overtaken him right before the safety car, but now the
Yeah.
Aston Martin driver leads the race, and that is a stroke
Will
of
anyone
luck
pit
there.
though? That's a question.
Yeah, but Alfa Romeo, Dan Snyder is going to get double stacked if they both pit. But what can Kieran do?
One of them's
The
gonna
bad
pit.
thing about being out front is that he has to make the decision. He
Oh,
goes
it's Kieran
pit late.
pits! Kieran pits!
Jetsy stays out. Dan Snyder stays out. Jayville is going to stay out. Maya the Cheeks will box as well, following
MB
Kieran.
MB
MW 15 boxes.
Prince doesn't box, and it's gonna be double stacking at McLaren.
Yeah, Milky Stream is also into the pit lane.
Milky Freeman into the pits. Oh,
Dirk
look at
stays
Dirk!
out, obviously.
Look at this is gonna be great for Dirk. On
yeah,
mediums.
on those medium tyres.
As with regards to the back, I'd assume isn't gonna pit as it already made a stop.
Oh, Dizzy Mason has no front wing at all. I'm not sure what happened there, but he will definitely need to replace that.
Which could make the safety car be out for a little while. As it's gonna wait for the cars to... all the cars to catch up. Anyway, it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2 now.
Yeah, and Kieran's only P6 and he's on fresh medium. So have Alfa Romeo made the wrong decision, or have Kieran and Aston Martin? It looks like
Dizzy Mason
Dizzy Mason has crashed.
He's retired on track, hasn't he? Yeah, he has.
I'm not sure what happened. Oh yeah, he's
crashed. He's crashed into the pits, I think.
Oh dear. Well, that's quite the disaster. I did see he had no front wing, so maybe he misjudged his braking point into the pit lane, but that is rather
surely
unfortunate for the Williams driver, who now falls to
and that's
Blester's also crashed as well in the first sector.
He's crashed
so
at the section.
Two drivers have crashed on the safety car, which is quite unfortunate.
As that leaves us with 11 drivers. One more, and that's guaranteed points for all of us.
Is Dizzy Mason just confirming he crashed on pit entry?
And I'd assume the safety car is going to be out for 1 or 2 laps more. So I'm gonna go and make some food quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. It looks like he will stay out one more lap, as Harry still needs to catch up to the pack. Rather unfortunate incident for Dizzy Mason as we rode on board this lovely helicopter camera of the two Alfa Romeos weaving. But let's see what Jetsy and Dan Snyder can do. Can they pull away from Kieran, who will be hunting them down on those new mediums, or will Kieran possibly be able to catch up to them and take both for the win? We'll have to wait and see, as Manya the Cheeks is sitting in AI, which I'll tell him to get out of. But sorry, I'll just take this moment to run you through the driver standings at the moment. So obviously Dan Schneider leads their championship standings by 13 points, as he currently has 65, compared to Dirk's 52, who's currently sitting in P2 after his race win in round 1 in Saudi Arabia. Jetsy sits P3 with 51 points, so hoping to claw the gap back down to his teammate. If he scores this result right now, he will overtake Dirk for P P2. Crumpton sits P2. Sits P4 with 45 points, but he has obviously been promoted to Tier 1 as he was too quick for this tier. Prince Kalonte, who's currently P4 in this race, sits P5 in the standings with 36 points. So, some good results down at AlphaTauri so far. VR Josh, who's left the league, is on 32 points. There's Wanis on 26. Pinty's on 16. Jayville is on 14 points. As we're getting ready for the safety car restart, so I'll run you through the rest of those grid positions later, but let's see how everyone reacts to the two Alfa Romeos who are leaving the safety car. A lot of room. When will they go? When will Jetsi go? Looks like he's going to go out of the penultimate corner, and here comes everyone. Monya de Cheeks is... Oh no, sorry. I thought he got past MW15, but he was in front in the first place. But it looks like no 5-second time penalties for collisions under safety cars. So very good, a very clean restart so far from the Tier 2 boys. That's what we love to see. Is no one picks up a penalty, but let's see who can make the most of this safety car and propel themselves up into the top positions. As MW15 is going to get past Maya de Cheeks, who's off. He's off the track and rejoins in quite a dangerous position. Milky Streamer is going to go around the outside of the Red Bull driver, who's just struggling at the moment on those soft compound tyres. Maybe he didn't get them heated properly, but Harry is trying to have a look as well. But he had to run a bit wide, avoiding action. As Kieran has gotten past Dirk already, so great move for the Aston Martin, who can now accelerate and catch up to those in front of him, hopefully. But Harry might have a look at Munya de Cheeks down into the braking zone. He's going to deploy all his ERS, but Munya de Cheeks keeps it defended quite well. But Harry's going to send it down the inside, push Munya de Cheeks a bit off track, but he gets the move done. Elbows out move from the Alpine, as Munya de Cheeks is falling all the way down to P11. So not the greatest restart at the moment, but the two Alfa Romeos are pushing away already. The gap to Jayville is 1.5 now, so the Mercedes will have some work to do if he wants to catch up. But Kieran has been overtaken by Dirk, so that is not what he would have wanted. Is he wants to make the most of these medium tyres. Both of them do, but Kieran specifically, as Dirk's going to defend the inside. Will Kieran look to the outside? Yes, he will. He's going to get pushed a bit off track, but keeps it within track limits. Fair defending from Dirk. But now here comes MW15 down the inside, and MW15 has a massive moment on the curb and nearly bins the car, but fortunately keeps it facing the right direction. But he will be under pressure from his teammates, as the battle for P5 is now starting to hot up, with everyone down to Munya de Cheeks' boxing new hards. Hello. Down to Munya de Cheeks' boxing new hards on in DRS trainers. Munya de Cheeks has a big moment on pit lane exit, but here comes MW15. He's gone past Kieran in towards the hairpin. Can he also get past Dirk? Dirk is going to defend the inside, only makes one move. Can MW15 be later on the brakes, Daniel Ricciardo style in his car? Can he make the move? No. Dirk defends the position fairly, and Harry also gets past Milky Streamer, who now falls down to P10. But Dirk and MW15 are going at it again, as MW15 possibly had bad traction. Kieran's off track a bit as well, as he gets overtaken by Prems and now falls to P8 and will be under pressure from Harry. Harry's going to go to the outside. Kieran doesn't leave him much space, as they both run off track, and Jayville's into the pit lane. So early pit stop down at Mercedes. He doesn't seem to have damage, but he's in for a new set of softs. So is he going for the two stop? Is now Kieran and Harry are going to go at it again down towards turn 1. Harry's later on the brakes, but Kieran gets the switch back. Let's also ride on board in front, as MW15 has just gone past Dirk for P4, but Kieran makes the move on Harry. Harry is trying to use all the track to get back past the Aston Martin. It's a duel for the ages, but Kieran wins out this time but Harry will have the DRS down towards the hairpin and surely will get the move done as he picks up another 3-second time
penalty.
penalty.
I wait penalty.
Is Harry down the inside of Kieran. They make a bit of contact, but Harry's now up into P7.
Oh, and spin.
Milky Stream has lost it on the curb, which is very unfortunate. I think he still has all of his wing intact, fortunately for him. Yes, he does, but he's lost a lot of time to the competitors in front. As Prems will be looking for a move on Dirk. It looks like the medium tyres aren't really working at the moment, as the gap from Prince to the two Alfa Romeos is already 6 seconds. As Prems gets down the inside of Dirk, both drivers running a bit off track. But MDO15 is actually going for the move on Prems and is made it work. So MDO15 is a man on the mission. He thinks he has the pace and is trying to capitalize on it and move himself up into the higher positions. But will he be able to do it, as the two Alfa Romeos are quite far in front of him? But Harry's into the pit lane already down at Alpine and retires from this section. So rather unfortunate for the Alpine team, who have both drivers DNF once again. 0 points being scored. But Kieran now is going to try to work his way back towards Dirk and towards that battle for P3, as Norwegian boy has left the party. Unfortunately for him, not quite sure what happened to him, but hopefully he can get back here, get back in here soon, as Jabil's all over the back of Milky Streamer and is possibly going to look for the move down towards the hairpin. Can he make it work on his teammate, or will the two Mercedes try to work together to push towards those in front of them? Milky Streamer's not going to defend it by the looks of it. He's going to let off the gas and let his teammate through. Good teamwork there from Mercedes. Hopefully they can work their way towards the cars in front of them, but they have a gap of about 8.2 from Kieran to Jabil, which they'll be desperate to hunt down. But Kieran doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment to stick with these three battling for P5, as Jetsy is now into the pit lane. But the one possibility I didn't consider is if Kieran just goes to the end on these soft compound tyres. I see his gap to leader. It's only 10 seconds, and Jetsy was about a few tenths in front of that, but look, he's only exiting the pit lane now, so he'll be out around Jabil or Milky Streamer, as Jabil now is going to see the Alfa Romeo in his sights, but Jetsy comes out just in front, but Jabil will have the run down the straight, but Prems is going to have a run on Prince for P3, as MW15 is now up into P2 after getting past Jetsu, who obviously boxed for new mediums. Can Prems do anything down the straight? He's only about 3 tenths behind the AlphaTauri at the moment. The AlphaTauri will not have DRS from his teammate in front, as he doesn't have the pace at the moment. Obviously 6 lap newer tyres on the two McLarens. Can Prems make the move down the straight? Prems is going to try to defend the inside, but it's not enough. Prems just has too much ERS for the AlphaTauri. Too much straight line speed for the AlphaTauri to deal with. But hopefully he can get back past the McLaren. And Jabil, unfortunately for him, wasn't able to make the move on Jetsy, but he's definitely putting the pressure on the Alfa Romeo driver, who is the provisional race leader, assuming everyone boxes, and that Snyder's into the pit and he's losing a lot of time to MW15. MW15 gaining about 1.1 seconds on that lap, on Dan Snyder's in lap. It's going to be a new set of mediums, and I presume he will be jumped by these two here, Jabil and Jesse, and obviously everyone else will get past him. But there's a yellow in sector 3. Jabil is rounded the final corner. He lost the car and he's retired on track, so that will be a penalty coming his way. But MW15 now leads the race for McLaren, and his teammate has a lot of pace. He's already pulled into MW15's DRS, but Dan Snyder has fallen 3.5 off his teammate already, and I think Kieran's dream of winning the race on these mediums will be quickly evaporated, as the gap is only 3.7 seconds now between the two. Here comes Dirk on Prince Clonte. He's had enough of staring at the back of that AlphaTauri. Will Prince defend the inside? He defends it late. Dirk doesn't see it coming, runs into the back of him, but lucky doesn't get any damage and slides down the inside up into P3. Can Kieran also make the move on the AlphaTauri? Looks like he's just going to stick behind for now at the moment. But those medium tyres are definitely a lot quicker. As you can see, Prince is struggling so much. Those soft compound tyres are really starting to die now. But can the two McLarens do anything, as they have a lot of pace at the moment on those soft compound tyres? But very soon they'll be facing the same struggles, as Prince, who's into the pit lane, has a bit of moment on pit lane exit. But it's all good for the AlphaTauri, but Jetsy's now only 2.5 off Kieran in P4. So can Jetsy make anything work on the Aston Martin? He's closed in quite a bit on that previous lap, but it looks like Dan Schneider, his teammate, isn't quite able to stick with him, about 3.5 off him right now. But Jetsy crucially picks up a 3-second time penalty. 3-second time penalty for Jetsy. So now if Dan Schneider gets within 4 tenths, gains another 3 tenths on his teammate, he will be within his penalty range, which means he will take the win if it stays like this. But we'll have to wait and see, as it's still a long way to go, as Dirk now gets overtaken by Kieran on the new mediums, as Kieran is starting to make those mediums work now finally, after having a very poor safety car restart. Looks like he's found his pace and he's starting to push, and will, I'm sure, very soon be on the back of the two McLarens, but I'm sure not with moments like that. But the two McLarens are keeping a good pace right now, just working together in each other's DRS, and Prem is going to go for the undercut on his teammate. He's into the pit lane. Will it be a new set of the soft compound tyres? No, he'll have to go into the mediums, because he started on the soft, so he flicked it down to neutral. There, as he came into the pit lane, it is a new set of the medium compound tyres down at McLaren. So he's going for the undercut on his teammate. His gap is now 4.5 to the nearest car. But now Jetsy is all over the back of Dirk. But all this is going to be doing is helping Dan Schneider, as Dan Schneider will be able to keep the gap, to close the gap on his teammate. As you can see, Jetsy has so much more grip, but just can't make it work. He's tucked up behind the Ferrari. Can he make something work down to the hairpin? Maybe look for a late dive on. We've seen a lot of them tonight, but he's going to stick behind, wait for the main straight. I presume Dirk will not fight this, as he doesn't have a lot of ERS himself. But as they run down towards the hairpin at the end of the straight, it's going to be a pretty routine move for Jetsy, unless Dirk fights it around the outside, which he's going to do. But Jetsy is much later on the brakes and gets the move done, then Dirk cannot look for the switchback, as he just doesn't have enough grip. So Jetsy moves himself up into P3, one more position, and he will be in the provisional lead of this race, as MW15 will eventually box, as he has to use 2 different sets of tyre compounds, which he is not at the moment. He's only been on 2 soft compound tyres, and he's going to box this lap into the pit lane onto a new set of the mediums down at McLaren. So now Kieran leads this race, but I'm sure not for long, as Jetsy will begin passing soon. But this is great if you're Dan Schneider. He's already not that far off his teammate, and he's looking all over the back of this Ferrari. Can he make the move possibly? As Milky Streamer gets past MW15, obviously, who boxed for new media compound tyres, but Prems has not made the undercut work. He's actually fallen back further from his teammate MW15. So maybe the slow safety car, no, sorry, not the slow safety, the slow entry to the pit lane has cost him a bit of time, but Prince has also fallen off quite a bit from these two McLarens, as Money the Cheeks is only 4.9 off these guys now. So good comeback so far from the Red Bulls. Jetsy's not going to look for the move into the corner, but Kieran goes defensive. The Snyder's also having a look on Dirk. Dirk is going to defend to the inside, but the Snyder's going to get it done around the outside. So very nice move for the Alfa Romeo, who's now directly behind his teammate, also without a 3-second time penalty. So can he make an overtake on him, as Kieran has been able to hold up Jetsy for probably one more lap than he would have wanted, but I presume Jetsy will be getting up. Will be getting past right now as he runs up down towards turn 1. Looks like he's just gonna save the ERS and stick behind. He fakes it inside, but he's not gonna go for the move, as he gets very nice rotation through the first corner. Can he look for the moves? Milky Stream is down into the pit lane. For Mercedes, strapping on a new set of the medium compound tyres, and he will drop to last in this race. Unfortunately, only 9 runners at the moment, as Prince now moves up to P7. Sorry. But Jetsy now is all over the back of Kieran, as Milky Streamers had a bit of a moment on pit lane exit, and he's lost it on the exit. But let's cut back to the battle at the top. Both are deploying their ERS, but it looks like Jetsy's just going to have enough to get the move done around the outside, and yes, he does. And now Dan Snyder will be looking at the vulnerable Aston Martin, who's just been overtaken by his teammate. Can he possibly move himself up into the top two and right behind his teammate to be the provisional race leader after penalties, presuming Jetsy's doesn't get removed, unless it does. But Mdo 15 is now about 8.7 off Dirk, so he's going to have to work to get back towards the Ferrari. He still hasn't made a pit stop in this race. Maybe he's banking on a late safety car. He's gonna have to work. He's gonna have to box for new softs eventually, probably sooner rather than later, if this safety car is not gonna come. But anything can happen, as Milky Streamer will also be one of those banking on a late safety car. But that Snyder's gotten the move done on Kieran somewhere through the first sector, and he's now right behind his teammate. But unfortunately for him, he's not in his DRS, so he will be deploying as much ERS as he can to get back within Jetsy's DRS and not let his teammate pull away. It will be a very strategic battle going on down at Alfa Romeo, as Kieran actually got DRS on both of them, but he has fallen back now, and will eventually fall out of the DRS. Possibly could be caught by Mdo 15 and Prems if he goes to the end of this race. 21 laps on the mediums is a very long way to go, but I think it is just about possible. So if he's going to stay out to the end, he could make it work, but I presume he will be gobbled up by these two McLarens, as Prems doesn't look to have the pace to stick with his teammate at the moment, as the gap is now 3.2 between them, but Dirk is into the pit lane. Let's just have a quick look at the penalties. So Jetsy, obviously, of course, we saw him pick up the 3-second time penalty earlier. Dan Snyder is one of 2 drivers to have 0 penalties at the moment. Kieran has 6 seconds, Mdo 15 only has 3, Prems has 6, Prince Cronte has 6, and Money the Cheeks now has 0, but he will be under pressure from Dirk, who has 3-second time penalties, and Milky Streamer has 6, but he's quite far behind. But Dirk will be all over the back of the Red Bull, coming towards the straight. Let's see if he can make it work. Possibly on the way down to the hairpin, he can make the move and move himself up into the top 7 and hunt down Prince Kalante. This should be a pretty routine move. He has more ERS, he has the DRS, he has the tyre advantage. He's going to blow past the Red Bull before they even get anywhere near the braking zone, and moves himself up into P7 in this race. So a pretty standard move for the Ferrari there, who now can hunt down Prince Kalante in hopes of a P6 or above finish. So it'll be very difficult for him to hunt down the two McLarens, but anything is possible, as we've seen the pace difference between the mediums and the softs already with the first safety car, obviously. But it looks like Dan Snyder's not able to get within Jetsy's DRS, but he's about 1.2 off his teammate, which is enough to keep him to get him the race win, as he runs a bit wide there to avoid picking up in the scene track limits. Warning, and Manya the Cheeks has lost the car, and that might be a safety car. Yes, it is a safety car, a big safety car, and this is going to spice things up. This is definitely going to spice things up. Who's going to box for New Softs? Who's going to stay out? Will Jetsy box? I know Dan Snyder will probably do the opposite to what his teammate does. If his teammate boxes, he'll probably stay out. If his teammate doesn't box, he will probably box himself. But this is definitely spiced up the end of this race, as everyone will be brought together again. Unfortunately for Manya the Chiefs, who had pretty good pace on those hard compound tyres, but unfortunately couldn't make it work. But let's see what Jetsy does. Is he gonna box for New Soft? He's boxing. Is that Snyder gonna follow him? That Snyder does follow him after making a late decision, but this means he could get overcut by the Aston Martin of Kieran, who's actually picked up the 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, which is rather unfortunate. There's going to be a double stack at Alfa Romeo, but Kieran is actually replacing his wing, so it looks like he got a bit of wing damage. MW15 and Prems in McLaren are going to stay out, but unfortunately for Prems, he's not going to be in front of Jetsy, so Jetsy should make a pre-routine move on MW15 back for P1. Then Snyder will be P4, Kieran comes out P5, Prince P6, Dirk will box in New Sus as well, P7, and then Milky Streamer will eventually come into the pit lane, I presume, for New Softs, and will be P8. So everyone opting for new soft compound tyres, apart from the two McLarens who have opted to stay out in this race. So let's see how they can do towards the end of this race. Can they possibly put themselves into the Hall of Fame in NRL by winning this USA Grand Prix? It will be very difficult with Jetsy, who's been on form all weekend, possibly right behind MW15, but everyone here has penalties apart from Dan Snyder. So Dan Snyder is going to benefit greatly from the safety car restart if he can keep within 3 seconds of the top 2, then he will win, and obviously 6 seconds of Prems. That should be a rather easy task for the Alfa Romeo, as it looks like the safety car will stay out one more lap, as Milky Streamer will not catch the back of this pack. For the safety car restart on lap 21. So it looks like he's going to stay out another lap, which is unfortunate for the the other 7 drivers whose tyres will be... Ooh, his Milky Stream has actually spun on his soft compound tyres. So that is disastrous for the Mercedes, who's going to spend even more time trying to catch up to these guys. Maybe we could see him box for new tyres as he spins again on those softs. So he just needs to cool down those soft compound tyres before trying to push on them, as he's clearly been trying to do. But as I was doing on the first safety car restart, I'll go over the driver standings at the moment. So we got to Jayville P9 on 14 points. He unfortunately retired in this race. MW15, who currently leads at the moment, is P10 on 11 points. Norwegian Boy, who's in the commentary box, but unfortunately his power cut out, was P11. Prems is P12 with 8 points. He's currently running P3. Hilstadino has left the league with 13th with 7 points. Danilo, who also DNF'd in this race, has 5 points. Conan Klunt, who unfortunately, due to an F1 game bug, couldn't join the session, is P15 in the standings. Lelo King is P16 for Ferrari, and Edgar UK and Harry, both Alpines, on 0 points. Elite Casper and Dutchy, by the way, who's left the league now, also both on 0 points. Munya the Cheeks and Kieran, Dizzy Mason, Yeet for Life Pro, the only reserves that have competed this season. Munya the Cheeks on 18 points, Kieran on 7, Dizzy Mason on 2, and Yeet for Life Pro on 0. Safety car is in this lap, so I'll quickly run you through the constructors. Alfa Romeo first with 116 points, Mercedes second 59, Red Bull 58 points, but unfortunately they will not be scoring any points tonight. Ferrari P4 with 52 points, AlphaTauri P5 with 41 points, P6 for Alpine with 25, P7 for Williams with 23. McLaren have 19 points, Aston Martin have 12, and Haas unfortunately only have 3 at the moment. So they're going to have to work hard in the coming 3 rounds to try and gain the deficit on those teams in front of him. But the safety car restart is underway. Dan Snyder's already going for the move down towards turn 1. Can he make it work? On Prem, he's going to send it inside. So is his teammate Jetsy for the lead of the race. He pushes MW15 a bit off track, but he's up into P1. Dan Snyder makes a similar move on Prems. He's up into P3 now. Can Kieran also have a look at the the McLaren, as both McLarens are struggling. MW15 picks up another 3-second time penalty, moving it on 6 seconds. Kieran has 40 seconds, and that's 6 seconds for Jetsy. 6-second time penalties. 6 seconds of time penalties for Jetsy. So that's disastrous. And surely, if Dan Snyder just keeps his car facing the straight way, he will move into P1 and win this race. MW15 will be under pressure from the Alfa Romeo, who will be looking to get into P2 down towards the hairpin. Kieran is going to go for the move on Prems. Dan Snyder is going to send it late on MW15, but keeps it behind. Kieran makes the move on Prems. Kieran makes the move on Prems, but Dan Snyder's all over the back of MW15. He's defending for his life, but Dan Snyder's going to send it to the inside, and there's nothing MW15 can do. MW15 drops down to P3 now, as Prems is going to have a battle with Prince. He's going to try go around the outside, makes it right. The McLaren has a moment on the curb, but he's going to send it back down the inside of Prince. Picks up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. Prince is going to look for the switchback. Dirk is also going to be looking for a move on both of them. As now down towards turn 1, Kieran is going for the move on MW15. He's going for the podium. Down the inside goes Aston Martin up into P3. Dirk down the inside of both Prems and Prince, but he's outbroken himself and he's back down to P7. Prince moves up to P5, overtaking both of them. And Milky Stream is unfortunately unable to keep up with the pace of these guys. But Prems is struggling massively, and so is his teammate. Disastrous restart down at McLaren, who are not able to keep up with the soft tyre runners. and they made a massive mistake going for this, staying out on the mediums, and there's Prems and Dirk are into the wall, and Dirk is out of the race, and it's another safety car. A crazy incident there, as Prems is taking out Dirk from this race, and that could be a big penalty coming his way, as the McLaren has wiped out Dirk, but there will be another safety car, so now the two McLarens could have redemption by boxing for new soft compound tyres possibly. But we'll have to wait and see. A stupid incident between Prems and Dirk. I'm not quite sure what Prems was thinking there, but MBO15 is into the pit lane for McLaren, the correct choice to do at the moment, and Prems is also into the pit lane to take off those medium tyres, which are clearly not worked on the safety car restart. But can Jetsy this now ruins Jetsy's strategy of trying to pull away from his teammate, as his teammate will be right behind him now. And Prince, don't count out Prince, he only has 3 seconds of time penalty, so maybe he could get past Jetsy as well. He will overtake Kieran if it stays like this, as you see him revving out his gears, trying to get rid of a bit of fuel in his AlphaTauri, I presume. From his dashboard, he's about 3 laps over on fuel. Let's look at Kieran's. We just can't see it there due to the thing. And Dan Schneider's about 2 laps over on fuel, and pretty much the same for Jetsy. So a lot of drivers have an excess of fuel at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see what happens toward the end of this race. Hopefully the safety car comes in this lap. Hopefully the safety car comes in this lap, so we can get racing for the last 3 laps of this race. But it looks like it might stay out another lap, which is honestly quite frustrating, as we're going to spend yet another lap behind this safety car. But next week, of course, if you don't keep up to date with the calendar, next week the drivers will race around France, which will be interesting to see which drivers have the pace, as obviously they were there at pre-season. If you tuned in earlier in the season, Altiers did a race at pre-season. So not a race, they did a practice session at pre-season. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. But let's focus on the present. It will be a very interesting safety car restart. Will Jetsy keep his win? Can he gain 6 seconds in 2 laps on his teammate? Because at the moment it doesn't look like it. It looks like Dan Schneider will take his 3rd win of the season in Tier 2. But we'll have to wait and see. As we'll be getting ready to get underway again in a few seconds time. Hopefully it will be a good finale to the end of this race. Hopefully not too many incidents. We've already seen, I think, 1 too many tonight, but you say it is a very difficult track, and I did warn you guys in qualifying to watch out for any safety cars, and that is certainly what has happened tonight. 3 safety cars in tonight's race. But the safety car is in this lap. Sorry, the safety car is in this lap, so Jetsy will lead us for the safety car restart. Can he get a good restart, and can the others possibly gain, as Prem's is down the inside of his teammate, which I specifically said not to do. They need to keep it single file, otherwise they'll just pick up 5-second time penalties. But it looks good at the moment. The two Alfa Romeos, just the two McLarens nearly ran into each other there. But when will Jetsy go? He's going to go late, I presume. He's going to go out the penultimate corner, and it looks like a pretty slow restart for everyone. Prems is going to have a look down the inside of his teammates in the final corner, but thinks better of it. And Prinz is lost on the safe car restart. Milky Stream has taken avoiding action, and Prems has put him into the wall. What an unfortunate incident for the Mercedes driver, who's now seen his great work undone. He will not score any points in this race. Prinz is down to P6. Jetsy leads by 1 second approximately to Dan Snyder, but we'll have to wait and see how this race unfolds, as Dan Snyder will be all over the back of Jetsy, hopefully looking to make the move up into P1, but he doesn't need to risk it at the moment. As long as he stays within 6 seconds of his teammate, he will pick up the race win. But two very controversial incidents from Prems there, which he caused, which will definitely be looked at by the stewards. But let's focus on the race for now. It's Dan Snyder now. Dan Snyder is all over the back of Jetsy. Jetsy could get the move done. Dan Snyder could get the move done, but it'd just be easy to stick behind, stay within 6 seconds of his teammate, which he's doing just fine. MW15 will pick up a podium in this race as long as he sticks with Kieran, as Prens picks up another 3-second time penalty, giving him 12 seconds. So that means he will be jumped by Prinz and will finish this race in P6. Obviously, awaiting steward decision, but Kieran has 14 seconds, so he's going to drop back behind MW15 into P3, but very anticlimactic final safety car restarts. Everyone has kind of spread out, no action down the field. Way too many DNFs tonight, way too many. We can't have 15 drivers and only this amount finish. Hopefully it'll be better next week, but tonight was not the greatest race. But Dan Snyder will look like he'll pick up the race win, which is rather unfortunate for Jetsy, who drove a quite brilliant race, but just couldn't keep it within the track limits. Unlike his teammate, who's been able to benefit from his teammates' time penalties. Danilo leaves the session. Jetsy now is gonna win this. No, he's gonna win on track this race. There will be Dan Snyder, who picks up his 3rd win of the season in NRL. Kieran finishes P3 but moves down to P4 after penalties. Prems will finish P5 and will move down to P6 after penalties, as Prems will be the last driver to cross the line in P6 and moves up to P5 at the end. So a pretty decent result for the AlphaTauri driver, who now extends his good run of form to start the season so far. But it's Dan Snyder on top once again in NRL Tier 2. Let's have a look at the race results before I have to pop off. Dan Snyder P1, 0 penalties, great race from him, executing the 2-stop perfectly. Jetsi P2 with the fastest lap. Unfortunately for him, he picked up too many time penalties. Mdo 15 P8, sorry P3, 8 seconds off the lead. Kieran finishes P4, Prince finishes P5, Prems finishes P6, Milkstream finishes P7, 3 laps down, and everyone else unfortunately did not make the line. So yeah, I've been F1 level commentating today as always, and I'll catch you all next week for the French Grand Prix, which will hopefully be a better race.